Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Faisal Anwar. I'm from English Education Department of STKIP Muhammadiyah Bogor, semester 5, and I'm in A class. So today, I will review my article about teaching method and vocabulary mastery influence towards student speaking skills. So I will explain about the abstract. The purpose of this study was to determine whether there is an effect of teaching method and vocabulary mastery on student speaking skills, and what teaching methods can affect student speaking skills. And this study takes data from articles or research on teaching methods and vocabulary mastery on the speaking skills of students who have learned to read and understand various sources. Research will explain several methods that will affect student speaking skills. The result from various sources that the research read and understood, and it can be said that the teaching and learning method on the student's vocabulary of speaking skill are influential. Especially in vocabulary, the more vocabulary mastered, the speaking ability will also increase. And the next is introduction. English is the international language. English is also one of the important aspects that must be learned. Communication, trade, technology, politics, education, entertainment, and many more are some of the aspects that we can use to cooperate with other countries. Learning English means learning the language component and language skill, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and spelling are examples of language component. Meanwhile, language skills include listening, writing, reading, and speaking. And of these skills, speaking is often considered a very difficult skill for students to learn. And there are many teaching methods that can affect students' speaking skill. However, there are 5 teaching methods that affect classroom practice and which refer to teachers and trainers, namely grammar translation, audio lingualism, VVV or presentation practice production, text-based learning, and communicative language teaching. The latter is a widely accepted method in the world of teaching English. And the next is method. This study emphasizes the effect of teaching method and vocabulary mastery together on student speaking skill. This means that there are 2 independent variables and 1 dependent variable. Variable x1 as the first independent variable is teaching method, and variable x2 as the second independent variable, that is vocabulary mastery, which are interrelated and affect the variable y as the dependent variable, student speaking ability. And the method used is to take data from the article and books that the researchers have read and understand so that they are collected in detail and precisely. And the next is result and discussion. In the result, this research in experimental research with 2 factors. The first is teaching method and second is vocabulary mastery factor. There are sub-factors of each factor that is called level. There are 2 levels of teaching method factor, that is experimental level with communicative language teaching or CLT. And the second level is a conventional method. Furthermore, the second factor is vocabulary mastery with 2 levels. First high vocabulary mastery and secondly low vocabulary mastery. And the discussion from the analysis of the data above, it can be interpreted as follows. The first is there is a significant effect of teaching method towards student speaking skills, and the second is there is a significant effect of vocabulary mastery towards student speaking skills, And the last is there are effect of interaction between the teaching method and vocabulary method towards student speaking skills. So I think for the conclusion about my article is from the data above, it is known that the effect of teaching method and mastery on student speaking skill has effect. The research suggests teaching method that can affect student speaking skill. The research also suggests the teacher's role to motivate and encourage students to make reading their habit and to train and develop words. And of course, these things will affect student achievement. By having a high reading habit, students will more easily understand and capture information from what they read. And topics will certainly make it easier to talk or be creative about certain things because they already know it beforehand. So they will be more confident in providing information and sharing ideas. It is important for all teachers to develop students' vocabulary by giving them more activities or assignments. And it is also important for students to practice their vocabulary regularly. Good vocabulary mastery helps learners express their idea appropriately. By having a lot of stock words, students will be able to easily speak in English. Thank you very much. I think it's enough from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.